Hi everyone! Today we'll be doing a 20-minute class focusing on heart opening. So as soon as we physically open our heart space and our chest, a lot of the time we're also doing a bit of back bending, so feeling that opening in our thoracic spine, our upper back, and then also maybe in the lower back as well. And then from a yoga philosophy point of view, as soon as we start to open our heart, we allow ourselves to be more receptive and accepting of the love that others might give us, allowing ourselves to be more open-minded and just receive any love and positive energy that's shared with us. So let's begin to open through our heart space.
We'll need 2 blocks today. But remember, if you don't have any blocks at home, you can always use something else like books or relative blankets or cushions. Just making do with whatever we have at home. And coming to find our child's pose with the knees wide, big toes touch. Sinking the sit bones down towards the heels. Starting to melt the chest down towards the earth. Feeling that lengthening in the back body. Maybe rocking the body gently left and right, bringing some gentle movements, massaging movements into the body. Bringing the right ear and resting it on the right bicep, kind of laying the head down on the arm like it's a pillow, and using the left hand underneath the shoulder to kind of push the mat away. Then repeating on the other side, keeping the head nice and heavy. Just opening through the armpit and the arms and the side waist. Maybe repeating a few more times on each side or taking a few more deep breaths. And coming into tabletop. Stacking the wrists and the knees. We'll come into a cat and cow. Inhale, peel the chest open, push the sit bones up. Keep the neck nice and long. Then exhale, starting from the tailbone, rolling, arching the spine up towards the sky. Inhale, chest open, sit bones spread, drawing that belly down towards the earth. Exhale, arching, rounding out through the spine, pressing the mat away with both hands. 3 more rounds. Inhale, moving with the breath. Inhale, drawing the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Exhale, almost like a protrusion separating the shoulder blades behind the back, gazing back towards the belly button. Move with the breath, maybe closing the eyes, starting to feel into this movement of openness in the chest and in the body. 1 more round. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back through center on the next inhale, shaking the hips side to side, wagging the tail, stretching out through the left and right side waists. Then coming back into a neutral spine, and we're coming into our melting heart pose or puppy pose. So keep the hips stacked above the knees, walk the hands and arms forward, melt the chest down towards the earth. Either forehead or the chin down on the mat. Just see which feels better for your neck. And see if you can keep that chest melting down, sinking down into the earth. But if it feels too tight, or you're feeling a lot of pressure on your shoulders, you can always use that block or that cushion or rolled up blanket underneath the chest, just to give yourself a bit more support. Otherwise, if you do prefer a deeper back bend, that opening in the throat or the thoracic spine, then keep melting that chest down towards the earth. Keep pushing the sit bones up towards the sky. Really feeling that space, that opening all up through the chest and the armpits and the shoulders. Breathe into that space. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And slowly coming back through center, walk the hands back and coming into child's pose to rest. Knees together this time. arms beside the legs and let the shoulders fall forward. A little counter pose. Always remembering to counter pose after any back bends or heart openers. Again, maybe just rocking the body gently left and right, massaging the shins, the hips, the third eye, the forehead. An option to stay right here into this child's pose. Otherwise, maybe grabbing our blocks, maybe just extending the arms straight out in front like our normal child, maybe widening the knees to mat width, or using the blocks and propping them up, and bringing the forearms to rest on top of the blocks. So the hands are just dangling off, and the weight of the arms are completely supported by the blocks. So finding that spot where you can really let your arms just be heavy and hang, and where the blocks won't tip to one side or you're fighting to keep the balance. So either bringing them closer or further away, or maybe bringing the elbows onto the blocks, interlace the fingers and draw the thumbs down towards the base of the neck. Keeping that head heavy and keeping that chest drawing down towards the mat. In this option, we also start to open into that armpit and the triceps, while still opening through the heart space and the upper and lower back. So maybe trying both options and seeing which feels better, then staying for a few breaths. Take as long as you need. Then come back into a normal child's pose to reset. Preparing to come into our downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, spread the fingers, and exhale the hips up towards the sky. Shaking the hips out and finding that length in the spine for our first down dog. Maybe walking, pedaling the feet out, one at a time, keeping the head heavy. Opening into the backs of the legs, always drawing that chest down towards the thighs. Creating a really sharp V shape with the lower back and the thighs, lengthening into the lower back. Slowly walk the feet forward on the next inhale and exhale, forward fold. Feet hip width, belly and thighs touch, head hangs loose. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins or the mat. Flat back, roll the shoulders back and down. Reach the crown of the head forward and up. Then exhale, forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe even bringing a block and resting the fingertips on the block. Otherwise, maybe fingertips on the shins again, then forward fold. 1 more. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, keeping that nice straight line with the spine, waist nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, stepping or just walking the feet back to a plank, engaging the core muscles, maybe dropping down to the knees, and exhale, half push up, chaturanga down. Keep those elbows tight against the body. Next inhale, peel the chest up off the mat, keep those elbows in, exhale, lower down. Inhale, maybe coming back into baby cobra or coming into cobra this time. Again, avoid shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. Keep them drawing down and back, keeping that chest open, shoulder blades, drawing back, collarbones nice and broad. Exhale, lower down. 1 more inhale, baby cobra or cobra. Maybe starting to gaze up, imagining that we're reaching the chest, shining it up towards the sky. Then exhale, lower down. Next inhale, half push up. Tuck the toes, maybe sitting the sit bones towards the heels. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Walking the dog out. shaking the legs and the hips out. Inhale, right leg extends up towards the sky. Exhale, lightly step it through between the hands, maybe taking a couple of breaths to get there. Wriggle that front foot forward, heel directly underneath the knee. Back knee down into a half crescent lunge. And exhale, starting to sink the hips down, opening into the hip flexors. Maybe hands on hips. Maybe just staying here. Keep drawing those shoulders back. Maybe almost feeling like we're drawing the elbows back towards each other. Notice if you're sticking ribs out. Can we tuck them in? Maybe reaching the arms up towards the sky. Maybe staying right here, keeping both sideways nice and long, and every exhale we're still sinking a little lower down into our lunge. Maybe starting to grab opposite elbows, and inhale, feel the spine growing nice and long first. Engage in the belly. Then exhale, maybe starting to fold back, shining that chest up towards the sky. So reach up, then back. Maybe interlace the fingers behind the neck to support the neck, and same action, leading up, then back, into a little back bend. Hands framing the front foot, step the right foot back, and exhale, downward facing dog. Shaking the hips out again, repeating on the other side. Inhale, left leg up, exhale, left leg, left foot through between the hands. Half crescent lunge on the other side. Maybe keeping hands on the mat, maybe hands resting on the thighs, maybe hands on hips. Just sitting up, as far up or as far down as feels good for your hip flexors today. Maybe reach hands up, grabbing opposite elbows, or interlace the fingers behind the neck. Again, just choosing your option. See which feels best for your body today. Inhale, the spine reaches up nice and long first. Then exhale, reaching back. Back bend. Always engaging the core muscles whenever we do a back bend to make sure we're not dumping any weight into our lower back. Step that left foot back on the next inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. Again, just shaking the hips out. Walking the feet out. Next inhale, bend the knees nice and deep. And exhale, stepping the feet forward again. Forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flap back, reach spine nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Belly and thighs connect. Inhale, halfway lift, 2 more like this. Exhale, forward fold. Just resetting into the hamstrings and the hips and the spine. 1 more inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Taking maybe a couple of deep breaths in a forward fold to rest if you need. Otherwise, either step the feet back. Again, plank. Maybe drop down to the knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Send the hips nice and high. Dropping down into the knees. Maybe coming into child's pose to rest if you need. Otherwise, we're preparing for another back bend, which is our camel pose. So we'll be keeping the feet, the toes, flipped over and supporting through the knees. Really bringing the palms of the hands into the small of the back and using the hands to push the hips forward. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest to protect the neck if you need. Keep using the hands, push the hips forward, forward, forward. Then maybe starting to reach back, bend over, back if the lower back is feeling okay. Again, engaging through the core muscles, squeezing in through the buttocks, then maybe dropping the hands down towards the heels or the ankles. Then to reverse the path, hands back towards the lower back again and chest sending it forward. Head comes up last. Come back into child's pose to rest. closed-legged child's pose. Again, that counter pose for the back bends. Rocking side to side. Take a few deep breaths, resting here. When you're ready, coming back up, and we're laying down onto our backs now. So you can choose to lie just flat on your back, otherwise we're using one block here and placing it underneath the spine, between the shoulder blades. So you can either place it flat on the lower setting, underneath that upper back, maybe rocking the hips side to side, see how that feels. Finding that spot where it won't dig into your vertebra. Should be nice and comfortable. If you'd like it a little bit higher, maybe placing it on the higher setting. Again, finding that spot where it won't dig into your spine. Should be sitting nice and comfortably between your shoulder blades. And just laying the back body over the block. Maybe letting the head hang back. If you're feeling a lot of tension in the neck or the throat, using that second block like a pillow and placing it underneath the back of the head. Roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe extending the legs nice and long. Maybe even coming into butterfly legs with the soles of the feet together, knees wide. So here, it's a really open pose. We're opening all up through the front of the body. With the throat, chest, shoulders, arms, waist and belly, hips, legs. Feeling that openness through the whole body and imagining that we're drawing all this positive energy in through the front body, drawing it all into our body, taking it all in, letting it sink and spread through every single cell of our body. When you're ready, bring the knees back together. And to come out, just make sure you take it really slow. So maybe removing the block that's underneath your spine first. Maybe rolling to one side and removing it. If you've got the block underneath your head, you can keep it as a pillow or gently remove it away. And just allow the whole back body to sit and sink back into the mat. Notice how it's feeling. Let it neutralize. Maybe coming into windscreen wipers, rocking the knees gently left to right. And when you're ready, rolling to the right hand side, sitting back up. Bringing the hands to prayer. One deep breath here. Namaste.